Hi, I'm Tarek Haddad. I am part of Collectif 1200 or Collectif 1200. We're a group of 12 photographers who gathered together at the end of 2019, beginning of 2020, as a way of talking about photography, but also as a form of support for one another, because in the times that we were going through, it wasn't the most easy thing to do to continue creating photography, and so we used these gatherings as a support and as a way of motivating each other to continue producing. And then we felt that given the situation, we were all leaning towards creating projects that had to do directly or indirectly with the situation, be it economically, politically, what we were going through, starting with the revolution towards the pandemic, the explosion, and the change of everyday life in Lebanon, basically. So once we gathered our projects together, we wanted to add an extra layer with this exhibition, and we thought about cycles of repetition, of hopes spiking up and then falling down quickly and returning back to square one when you think that you were going to go somewhere else, and then this kind of repetitive loop that we go through. And so the 12 works are kind of spread in the space in a way where you encounter a work at the beginning and then encounter it again in a different form. It's the continuation of one artist's project, a little bit different, so we try to create this dialogue between one point and the other, and there's the question of are we moving towards something hopeful, or are we going back to the start and then repeating everything again and again. Also, because the projects were in the same country during the same period, we have some elements that are repeated between different projects, the ports, the trees, the city, and so they kind of share and highlight how, no matter how personal some experiences are, there will always be a collective element that gathers them all and then encompasses every experience on a collective scale.
So empathy is a big part of this exhibition because while it showcases the major events that happened in Lebanon in the previous years, it is putting the individual at the core at the center of attention. So we can see how collective events such as the explosion, the financial collapse of the country, a revolution, are affecting the individual. And through the 12 lenses of the 12 photographers of this exhibition, we have access to the very personal, and which is at the core of being empathetic. And the fact that the Bienal of Photography of Porto brought these works to Portugal, it's a way for them to say, we see you and we acknowledge what you've been through. So giving the space for the Portuguese audience also to connect with something that has happened in a region that is far away from here, which is the biggest act of empathy.